Welcome back to the Playdate. I am your host, Susan Petersen.
And I'm Sierra Matagi.
Sierra, how are you doing?
So good today. It's been a great day.
Sierra's wearing a Skims set and looks so cute.
Oh, thank you. And mommies, put this as your push present. I want a Skim sweat set after I'm done giving birth.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. And how much is it, the full set?
I honestly couldn't tell you. My husband got it for me for Christmas.
Slay.
So it was a Christmas present.
We love it. Alrighty, so let's talk first trimester. Let's talk body changes. Let's talk hormones. Let's talk it all. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go through it. So, were you trying to get pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. How long did it take you?
I was very lucky to get pregnant on my second month of trying to conceive. So very blessed. And I will say the first month that we had we're like, let's try, which also I think is so
I know.
so cringy. To be like, we're trying.
We're always trying, actually.
Yeah. So we were trying and my period was late. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it happened the first one. It was 2 weeks late.
Stop.
But I was testing every day and it said negative. And so I was like, what's going on? I eventually went to the doctor and got a blood draw because I was like, maybe these tests just aren't it.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day they called me and said, oh, sorry, you're not pregnant. And I got my period that day. And I said, why was my body never have been late in my entire life? The first month I'm trying, it's like, it knows it's playing tricks with me. And I didn't. And I was so devastated, even though I knew it was going to take time.
Yeah.
And so I just for people who it takes longer to get pregnant, or have infertility issues, just my heart goes out because I was very lucky to get pregnant the second time. But I'm month after month, it would just be so hard. And so.
Yes. I had secondary infertility. So after I had Gus, we never used any protection and I didn't get pregnant ever again. Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
And I just decided not to do any fertility because I'm like, well, I'm busy, and I don't have the emotional capacity, I think, to go down the fertility route if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I just decided 2 was it for me. Yeah. Wild, right?
2 is great.
2 is great. We had fun. We have fun. Okay. So you get pregnant your second time ever trying. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
There is this book, I think, where it helps teach your kids about sex. It's you're supposed to read it to them. You're supposed to tell your kids about sex when they're 8.
You know what? I did not know that, but I will be writing that down as a knowledge to bank. And if you know the book, send it my way because I'm
okay, I'll think about it.
No.
I'll try to remember what it is. But my friend, she had 4 kids. She has 4 children. And she was reading it to her youngest. And he looked at her and he's like, ew, Mom, you've done this with Dad 4 times.
She's like, only 4.
Yep, 4. And each time, gross. Freaking love kids. Okay, so what is the first thing you notice changing when you get pregnant?
I honestly thought, I said, I'm showing. I am. And I was obsessed because I was like, I have a bump. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And then I looked back at those pictures and I said, girl, you were delusional. There was not a bump there, but it's okay. It's okay. As some people, I had this app, What to Expect When You're Expecting. And it was showing some people at 10 weeks and they had a full on belly bump. And it was but your bump might not look like that and it's okay. So I was like, okay, no, it doesn't look like that, but I definitely have one.
Sure.
And
sure.
We just
maybe
to
it's
just tell
just
ourselves
a little
that.
inflammation.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you do kind of get swollen, I think, when you first get pregnant.
And I think after that, it's your boobs.
Yes.
That's
they
a
get
good
so
telltale.
sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And big.
And I don't know if this is TMI. You can cut this out if it is. I had inverted nipples. I don't know if you have ever known what that is. So I've never experienced RT, anything ever like that in my life. And my mom's like, are you going to be able to breastfeed? And I was like, who knows? And during pregnancy, those popped out and I was able to breastfeed, but that was also one of the biggest changes that I noticed during pregnancy. And I said, amazing. We love it. And your body will do what it needs to do
Yes.
during that time.
Yes. And I feel like if you go into it with that attitude, like, this is my body doing what it needs to do, then I feel like it is still jarring to wake up and be like, what is happening here?
All the changes, like your hips,
Yes.
you're so sore.
Yes.
But I feel like when you're pregnant, at least in my experience, my self-confidence has never been higher in my life because I was like, my body is so amazing. Like, it's growing a human being who's going to come out and be a baby, but then grow up to be an adult like me. And I'm like, that is so wild. And so when all my things were changing, I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. I love this. Like, my body's getting bigger, but that means my baby's growing, or like all these things. And so you're just at like such a high of just like, you're just exuding pregnancy glow and like confidence, and you're just obsessed with your body. And it was a great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I concur. Did you get sick?
Yes. I didn't get sick until like 9 weeks.
Oh, okay. And then how long were you sick?
Probably like 5 weeks after that. And it was hell because I was not sick at all. And we were on a family trip and we're flying home. And my mom and my sister were on another flight. And then me and my sister were on a separate flight. And theirs was direct and ours had a layover, which, it's fine. It is what it is. We're taking off on our second flight, and I'm just throwing up my guts on the airplane. So I'm like in the bag, which is just disgusting. Everyone's around me. I'm just like throwing up. And I was like, this is my first time. And after that, it just didn't stop until like 18 weeks.
My face is so bad. Sorry, let me fix it.
You're like, oh. Yeah, no, it was not the vibes.
Did anything help?
I had to get a prescription from my doctor.
For Zoloft?
Or not Zoloft.
It was. What is it?
I honestly can't remember what it was.
Was it Zofran?
Probably. My sickness was so bad, I had tickets to see Harry Styles in Nashville, floor tickets. And I almost didn't get on the flight because I was throwing up the day before all hours of the day. And I was like, that's how you know you were down and out, that I almost missed Harry. And I said, girl, what were you thinking?
So what'd you do?
I got on that flight and I said, you're going to take the medicine. And if you're throwing up, you're throwing up, but you cannot miss this opportunity.
And did you throw up?
No, I was fine. And then when I got back, that's when the throwing up resumed. So it was like
Harry
he
healed
knew.
You.
He knew, like he knew. He's like, I got to keep it tight for my mom for this one day.
Oh, he loves you.
And then after that, you can throw up every day and be fine.
Okay. And then you felt better. And then did you feel those lovely glow, my body's amazing things when you were sick? Or did it come after?
It was probably like after, like second trimester breeze.
It is. It really is. It's like you feel beautiful. You feel loving. My husband actually thinks I'm nicer when I'm pregnant, but I'm not mean to begin with, I don't think. But
yeah. You're just so happy. And it's like now you're probably telling people that you're pregnant because you're in your second trimester. And it's just a grand old time in that second trimester. You just got to push through.
Yeah. You just got to get there. Okay. What were your cravings like?
I had some cravings. So like I would just be 11 p.m. and I was like, I need a McDouble. And Celsius, that's my husband, you better run to McDonald's and grab it because that's what I need. So it was like sometimes it would be McDonald's, sometimes hot Cheetos. And, you just gotta, I always just said, all right, guess you're going on a gas station run.
Right. It is what it is. So your husband's name is Celsius.
Yes.
Do you also drink Celsius?
I don't.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't.
So good.
I need to because I like an energy drink, but I'm always like, we should try these out. And he's like, Sarah, we don't need to. He's also very like healthier than me. Like he doesn't have a sweet tooth or like he doesn't drink soda. He's weird.
Rude.
And it's disgusting. Honestly, I'm like, that's your biggest red flag to me.
Sure. Yeah. It's amazing they got past that.
So me, I'm like, I need my sody. And he's just like, that is so disgusting. He's also not from America. And so he thinks like the 44 ounces of soda, like you would never see that in Australia. Like their large is like this big. And so when I get a soda, I'm like, so I need to order 4.
Do they use ice at least?
They do ice.
Okay.
They do have ice.
Remember in Europe, they don't do ice in your soda.
That would be.
You have to ask for it every time. And they bring you like 1 or 2 and you're like, okay.
You're like, awesome. You just start packing your own ice. Ship it over.
Just have a cooler with your sodas. I saw this Australian TikTok. Again, we're way off topic. I feel like we always do.
I love it though.
And she's like, what is Utah?
Utah. No, it's
she's like,
R.
What is happening in Utah? Like, I've seen a lot of America, but what is Utah? And then she went on to say all these things that happened just in Utah. And I'm like, you know what? Like, all of those things individually happen in other parts of America. We just seem to have all of them.
To encompass it all.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're going to visit America, might as well go to Utah.
Just go to Utah.
Yeah.
Like drive up sodas, those are all over the South. Do they all put cream in their soda? I don't know. I don't particularly like cream in my soda. That's not a vibe for me. Do you do cream?
I have had it, but I'm more leaning to like a fresh lime with like some coconut.
Okay.
That's been really getting me going lately.
So you're like, you like it that way. What was the other thing? Oh, she was talking about other parts of our culture. Why do all the girls have long eyelashes, long hair? It's like, duh, because we like it.
Because it makes us feel pretty.
Exactly. So she just had all these cultural things that I was like, well, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. We do embody a lot. It's its own culture, Utah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's fun. I love it. Or did you grow up in Utah?
Yes.
Okay.
Born and raised.
Amazing. Amazing. So here's something that I noticed when I was pregnant. And again, it's been a long time, but there is nothing that slaps quite like when you are craving something that you can articulate and then you actually get that thing.
You get it and you feed it to your child and they're happy.
Yes. And for me, so Girl Scout cookies did, they did a collab with Dreyer's ice cream when I was pregnant.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
So all of the, like Samoa had an ice cream, Thin Mint had an ice cream.
What was your go-to flavor?
I think I liked Thin Mint better, which is weird because I'm really not a pepperminty dessert kind of girl.
Thin Mints,
they're different.
Are the best.
They
you got to
really
put them in your freezer.
Yes.
Eat them cold.
So I would just have like, just whenever I felt like I'd have like a spoonful. And surprisingly, just at a spoonful at a time, those ice creams went pretty quick.
You're like, what? Wait, when did I open this one? Oh,
just like a spoonful at a time. So I was having my husband do ice cream runs.
I think I'm starting to crave that right now, and I'm going to give into it. Even though
we need to find it? I wonder if they still have it. It felt like
a heartbroken
special collab. I know, I'm sad, but then we could just get Thin Mints, and you just wait. Do you have that new blender that makes your ice cream at home?
Ninja Creamy.
Yeah,
yes,
you have it, so you can make your own.
I could. That's what I should do.
Yes,
that's what I should do.
Yeah, is it worth it? The Ninja Creamy.
I do think it's very delicious. And it is like if you're trying to be like, I need to eat more protein. And I just like, I'm like, I don't like to like eat a ton of meat. And so if I'm craving a little sweet treat and it tastes delicious and has extra protein, great. And so I really like it. And that is one dessert that my husband will like and actually eat. And so I will indulge with me. And yeah.
Does it take up a lot of space on your countertop?
I keep it in my pantry.
Oh, you're so smart. My husband does all the cooking in our house.
Same.
And he loves stuff on the counter, and I hate stuff on the counter. But I don't cook, so I feel like so mean being like, the counters need to be clear.
Yeah, I'm like, so sorry, but you can carry the appliance in and out of the pantry.
Yeah, easy done.
Easy done. But when you put it away, wow. It just really opens up the space and it's so nice and lovely.
He's like, our house doesn't have to look like nobody lives here. And I'm like, why not?
Like, but why does it have to look like somebody lives here? Somebody cooked here and I'm not sure I want it here all the time. Right. Yeah, I'm the same way. My husband will leave the rice cooker out and it drives me bonkers. I'm like, please put that away.
Right. And his thing is, well, I'm just going to use it again in a little bit.
I really feel like my voice hasn't been heard. I feel heard on this podcast today.
I do feel like, though, the older we're 20 years married this year. And I think like, okay, fine. This is your domain. This is your space. Literally, I do no cooking. So
I feel that. Maybe I'll get to that point that you're
not a stay-at-home mom. So I feel like I'm not in that, like, you're
not there all the time.
Yeah, I'm not there all the time. When I am there all the time, I'm constantly putting stuff away. But
yeah. Well, I love that you gone to that point, and maybe for me in the next 17 years I can grow to maybe let him feel that way of like, you know what, this is your space and I'll let you run that.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm like, do you cook majority of the time? Yes. I've been trying to do a recipe here and there, but I'm still like, please put it away.
We have a rule. It's called, if you spot it, you got it. So
your eyes are closed then.
Yeah, my eyes are closed.
You cannot see anything.
My teenage son, like he was trying to shut, we have like the drawer thingy that pulls out and you have 2 garbage cans in there.
Oh, amazing. Yes.
Yeah. And so he was trying to close a garbage can and I could hear it was like too full. And I'm like, and he's like, I don't see anything.
He's like, my eyes are closed. I don't know what's going on.
So then he had to take the garbage out because if you spot it, you got it. Like if it bugs you, then you're responsible for being the one to take care of it.
Yeah.
It's taken me a long time to get there. 20 years. So like you said, maybe
I got
in
some
17
time to maybe
years.
grow into that.
Okay. I love your feeling of, you feel all glowy. So if someone's not, like I know some women get depressed when they get pregnant, or if you're having to work full time, or if you don't have family support, like what's your advice for girlies?
I would say just like pick one thing and just like look at yourself in the mirror and just be like, I really love this about either like if it's something that you're struggling with, like your body changing, just be like, you know what, but I really love this. And tell yourself that while you're looking at yourself in the mirror every single day, find something. And I think that'll help you appreciate your body or appreciate like what you're going through and kind of have a better attitude about it. Because I feel like if you just like fester in the negative, then that's all you're going to keep saying is like, oh, I hate this or I hate that. But if you could just find one good thing, I think it would turn your day around.
This actually works. I have a friend who's the busiest woman I know, literally like busier than anyone else. She's got a son in the NFL. She's doing all these things for her family. She has like 4 businesses.
Oh, wow.
It's like so busy.
Yeah.
Every weekend she's gone somewhere watching her son play. And she will tell me, her daughters and I actually were like, she's delusional. Because she'll be like, you guys, you know what? My life is about ready to get so easy. It's like,
and you're like, mm-hmm.
And it's always when something like that is going to take more of her time, like is put on her plate. She'll be like, you guys don't understand. Like my life is about ready to get so easy. And when I went back as CEO of Freshly Picked in December, I started saying that to myself because I'm like, well, I think the theme for 2024 is Delulu is the Salulu. So let's just go for it, right?
Absolutely. Put that on a t-shirt.
I think it already is. I saw it on somewhere. So I was like, that is maybe my mantra. So like literally I'd be so stressed because when I stepped down as CEO or stepped over, however you want to say it, when I became the chairwoman and I wasn't the CEO and involved in the day-to-day, the business was complicated, but it is like seriously so much more complicated now. Like even just looking under the hood, I was like, whoa, hold up. Let me get my arms around all this. Like there's so much more going on. And I was feeling really overwhelmed. Like, oh crap. Every self-doubt thing you could think of that you're saying to yourself, like, oh no, I don't have the skills for this. Or, oh no, maybe we should hire someone, like all the things. And I was like, you know what? No. So I just started saying, my life is about ready to get so easy. And my husband would be like, what are you talking about?
He said, she's Delulu. She's Delulu.
I'm telling you, within like 3 days, it started working. Like I'd go to work with the biggest smile on my face because I was like, my life's about ready to get so easy.
I love that.
Yeah.
And
so
it's manifestation.
Yes.
And just like focusing on one positive. There's always at least one positive, no matter how dire you think your situation is. There's one thing that could be very positive.
Yeah. And just give yourself grace and don't be too hard on yourself.
And don't compare yourself to other people who are like maybe pregnant or maybe have an easier pregnancy than you or,
Or yes. Comparison is the thief of joy. I think about that all the time. Because you're so happy with your husband until you see someone else.
Or you see a video and they're like, look at what my husband did. And I always send them to him. And I said, if he started sending me videos about things other wives were doing, I'd be like, blocked. I would block you. So I'm like, okay, let's take a belly breath. Is it that serious? And most of the time, the answer is no.
No.
And I'm like, okay, girl, let it go.
Let it go. Yes.
Let it go.
Yes. Just enjoy the time. And I know it's so easy. Like my daughter's going into college. We were talking about this before we got on, and it goes so fast. And every time someone would say that to me when I had little kids, I would be so annoyed.
You're like, you don't know what you're talking about.
I know.
You're like, really?
But think about the last 2 years.
No, I can't even believe that I'm going to have a 2-year-old soon.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's a itty bitty baby. And
Right.
he's not. He's fully talking and
Grown.
being so cute. And I'm just like, oh.
And where did the time go? You can't account for those 700 days. No.
You cannot.
It does go so fast. So just enjoy what you're in.
Yes. Whether it's pregnancy or, having your first kid or something else, like just enjoy it.
2 things that really helped me, and then we will close up. I had terrible births. In fact, my second one, did I already tell you this? I'm sure I've talked about it. I'm asking the people who are listening, maybe. My C-section scar got infected, and they wouldn't put me in the hospital because they're afraid of like staph, and then you lose your limbs and it can get really insane. So they cut it all the way back open down to like your lowest layer of skin, and then sent me home with what's called an open wound. And I had to have a nurse come in for 6 weeks and pack it and clean it out every day.
Were you bedridden?
Yeah. Yeah, my mom just basically moved in, and it's my second, so I had a toddler. And I can remember just thinking like, this is either going to be a bad situation, it's going to be like the trauma that defines me, or it's just like, this is just the cost of having a kid sometimes, and I'm not dead, and I have a healthy baby. And he started sleeping through the night, like 12 hours literally at that time. So it was like the trade-off you get, which always happens with babies, is like something hard happens, but then a trade-off comes somewhere else, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I just decided like, this is just going to be it was good. And I still had so much fun those 6 weeks with my newborn, and had the newborn bliss and everything, even though I was like in my bed.
Yeah. And you could have like been like, this is the worst thing that happens to me.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I mean, you had like the right to be like,
yeah,
I'm so mad or angry, depressed because this didn't look like what I thought it was going to look like. But like you said, you're just like, I just said, this is something that's going to happen, but I'm still going to enjoy the 12 hours of sleep, or even just spending that time and maybe having more one-on-one time because you are like bedridden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild. Okay. Well, thank you, Sierra.
Thank you.